my basic premise is that most leaders aren't prime ministers or politicians or CEOs or dot-com billionaires or generals. I mean, I guess at the moment, we'd probably all agree they're not politicians. So let's move on from that.
Exactly.
And I, despite what we're repeatedly told, and I think actually often sold,
Right.
and we'll come to that maybe as well. I think leadership isn't complicated. So you don't have to have spent years sitting around boardroom tables, walking the corridors of the White House, it's been a CEO of a FTSE 100 company to understand it. And I think for me, one of the most damaging fallacies around leadership is that it's some exalted state, open only to a chosen few. And I think there is what I refer to as the leadership industrial complex.
You mean like people who teach classes around leadership?
Yeah, which is consultants and training programs and business schools and offsites and of course books. So, me too. There's the leadership industrial complex that makes billions and billions and billions of dollars for telling us that through essentially the complexification, if that's an actual word, of the subject. Right. And I think that this is a really, really damaging thing, because in the first instance, it's just snake oil. It's bullshit. But I think it creates this perception of a sort of an elite and untouchable knowledge, and I think this causes two big problems. The first problem is it inhibits people who are already in leadership positions from fulfilling their potential. And I think potentially even worse, it excludes whole sections of our society from believing that leadership is ever something that, that they could or might aspire to.